Beneath Spain's wrought iron balconies and cobblestone streets lie voices. They are trapped in objects from the past. When touched, when the sun goes down, they tell their story. Be advised that this is a horror podcast with very adult themes. When you were little, I bet your parents told you to share your toys with other kids. Sharing is the right thing to do. But what if the way to get ahead in life is to keep your toys? Even take other kids' toys. In today's episode, we meet David, the kind of guy who would share his toys. When his snotty boss makes him hide a mysterious USB drive, he embarks on a tale of corporate intrigue that sends him to a secret meeting at an abandoned mansion, littered with dismembered statues. One of these statues is the Virgin Mary. The voices trapped inside her take David back to 1915, when he meets a strange American man and the Count who built the mansion. Their scheme to smuggle priceless historical artifacts out of Spain teaches David a lesson. And it's not a very moral lesson. Will he stop sharing his toys? Yo soy Sam. Bienvenido a Spanish Sunday. Santa Pharma Headquarter Office, Madrid, 2026. I'm in the office with Laura. Laura's my boss. It's almost time to go, but I'm still working on a report. She's typing fast between phone calls. I need those numbers by this afternoon. Could you be any slower? She stands to walk to the printer. She's wearing a black dress. I don't know much about women's fashion, but I'm sure it costs more than I make in a month. Stilettos and a ponytail. It's tight. The hair stretches her temples back. Laura's stressed. She's normally stressed. Poor thing, she's got a lot on her plate. She's been here for about 12 years. I've been here for 5. I'm sure I'll get promoted to a position like hers eventually. I've just gotta keep on keeping on. But I won't be stressed like her. She turns and asks me, David, are you about done with that report? Yeah, I think by tomorrow it should be done. Finish it. Today. She picks up her purse and walks to the door. I guess I'm staying late on my own again. Bye, Laura. Have a good evening. She slams the door before I can even finish my sentence. Poor thing. She really is stressed. I see her through the office window, walking toward her black Mercedes. Before she gets behind the wheel, I see a shadow dart away from the passenger side of the car. I get off the bus at the stop by my apartment. My favorite thing when I get off work is my chamomile tea. There's a bar beneath my house where I like to stop off before going home to make dinner. I look forward to it all day. There's a man sitting on a cardboard mat by the door, shaking a to-go coffee cup full of coins. He smells like the Madrid street, dusty sunshine, pee, and car exhaust. I know him. How are you doing today, Paco? Must be nice to have a job, asshole. He doesn't look at me, but he does lift his cup in my direction. His eyes are trained at something, at nothing in the distance. Poor guy. I fish around in my pocket, then toss all the euros I have into the cup. He stares straight ahead as I walk inside. I sit at the bar, and the waiter asks, Lo de siempre? I'm about to say yes, I'll have my usual tea, when I remember I just gave all my coins to Paco outside. They won't take a card here for such a low amount. So, I answer, Actually, I forgot something. Sorry. See you another time. Then, I head toward the exit. Paco bumps into me right before I go outside. I hear him order a coffee,
Café con leche. Pa' llevar.
Before I walk out onto the sidewalk to climb the stairs to my apartment. The next day at the office, all the men in the meeting room are talking over each other. Their voices echo over their tablets on the mahogany conference table.
The numbers don't add up. If you look at the spreadsheet, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're running out of cash. We need to find a solution for this now.
They're all in three-piece suits, perfectly combed silver or white hair.
This is a problem.
The only one not in a suit is Laura, wearing her black dress and tight ponytail. She's trying to say something.
I think if you look at the QV34 file, you'll see the discrepancy. It's nothing to worry about.
But the men keep talking over her.
We need to find a solution for this now.
I would say something myself, but I'm just Laura's assistant. One day, I'll have a voice at this table. I just have to keep on keeping on. But that day is not today. The men are still shouting.
We need to find whose fault this is and find a solution.
The only man who seems to notice her over all the shouting is Jose Antonio Ortega Echeverria. Jose Antonio is Laura's boss. Well, he's everybody's boss here at the pharmaceutical. He bangs his fist on the table and silences the voices.
It's just occurred to me. If you look at the QV34 file, you should find the discrepancy. And you'll see it's nothing to worry about.
The men swipe every which way on their tablets, swishing through documents.
Oh, you're right. How did I not realize this? The answer was staring us straight in the face.
The praise continues.
There's a reason you're the boss, Jose Antonio. You're the man. Way to go, big guy.
Jose Antonio shrugs his shoulders.
Ah, shucks, you guys.
Laura stands and leaves without a word. I see Jose Antonio glance at her ass with a smirk as she walks out the door. Laura and I are back in our office. I'm working on another report. And Laura, well, she's working on something. She's typing fast and hard. She breaks a nail.
Ow! Laura, are you okay?
She whips her ponytail around.
Why wouldn't I be? I mean, because of the meeting. I heard you mention the file and they were all talking all over. Nothing happened at that meeting.
She looks me in the eye for several seconds. Then she continues.
Have that report finished by tomorrow.
Laura stands, grabs her purse, and click-clacks toward the door.
Okay. Have a good rest of your day, Laura. See you tomorrow.
She slams the door. I hope she can get some rest tonight. She really is stressed. Through the window, I see her in the parking lot down below, walking toward her black Mercedes. Once again, I notice a dark shadow crouching on the passenger side of the car. The shadow stands as she peels out onto the street. I recognize our boss in his three-piece suit, Jose Antonio. What's he doing down there by her car? When I walk into the office the next morning, Laura is already inside. She's jamming something into the port on the side of her laptop. She jerks her head up to look at me.
Oh! Hi. Good morning, David.
She jumps to her feet, almost trips in her high heels. She hops on one foot and adjusts her shoe as she approaches me. Strands of hair fly loose from her normally tight ponytail.
You sleep okay, David?
She leans in. What? Huh? She gives me a kiss on each cheek. Her cheeks are flushed.
Yeah? I slept great.
She returns to her computer, and I see her yank a thumb drive from the USB port.
Good. That's good. I'm glad.
Her hands are shaking. She drops the drive to the ground.
Shit! What's that drive, Laura?
She crouches to her knees and pats the floor, looking for the drive.
What? Huh? Oh, yeah, the drive.
Outside the office, in the hall, is a sound. Laura's head swivels toward the door, just as her hand touches the drive on the floor. She grabs it, then jumps back to her feet.
David, I actually need to talk to you about this drive.
Voices outside grow louder and louder, but I can't make out what they're saying.
Laura? What's going on? Take it.
She holds the drive out to me.
No one will suspect you. Suspect me of what? What's happening?
One voice rings clear from the muddled noise outside.
This is the police. We have a warrant.
Laura shoves the drive into my hand.
Come on, David. I know I can trust you.
Her lip trembles. Her eyes look moist. Her breathing is panicked. She grips my arm, then squeezes it.
Okay, I'll do it.
I pull back my waistband and shove the drive into my underwear.
Thank you, David. You can give it back to me tonight. I'll tell you where. I'll text you. And don't look at it. I mean it, David. Promise me you won't, okay? Okay, sure, I promise.
We have a warrant. We're coming in.
Laura pushes me toward the door.
Go. Go!
And I go. I get off the bus and check my pocket to make sure I've got enough change for my chamomile tea. I've got €2. That'll do it. But Paco's waiting by the door again.
Must be nice to have a job.
I hesitate. Poor guy. I drop the coins into his cup. He stares straight ahead and says nothing. Before I open the door to my apartment, I see him stand and go inside the bar to order himself a coffee. I walk up the stairs and enter my house. I put the thumb drive on the counter. Laura told me I could give it back to her tonight. She would text me where. But she didn't say what time I could expect a message. And I'm not supposed to open it. If Laura asks me not to look, then I won't. It's 8:30. I make myself dinner. The drive is right next to me on the counter while I fry my potato omelet. I eat my dinner at 9, the drive still looking at me. I try to read my book at 10, but the pages seem boring. Then, I finally make up my mind.
Oh, what the heck?
If she wants me to hang on to this for her, whatever it is, I think I'm entitled to know what's on it. Especially if the police are involved. How's she gonna find out anyway? I boot my laptop up and stick the drive into the USB port. Oh, wow. It's not even password protected. Files, files, files. What's so important about these files? One folder is entitled JAOE in capital letters. I click on it. There are screenshots of emails from Jose Antonio Ortega Echeverria, JAOE. Oh. I begin to read.
Dear Emilio Jimenez.
Emilio Jimenez is the CEO of PharmaHealth, our #1 competitor. I continue reading.
As the patent is about to expire, now would be the time to discuss prices for our products, for mutual benefit. If we set the modest market price of $1.99 per blister pack, we can both expect profits of around $3 million for the first quarter.
Oh my God. Jose Antonio, our CEO, is price fixing. Is this why the police came? Is Laura going to turn him in? And why is it taking her so long to text me? I click out of this folder to browse the others. There's one marked Maridito, Javi, I open it. These are clearly emails between Laura and her husband. Huh. I didn't even know she was married. Oh my god. Now I get why she made me promise not to look at the drive. There are pictures here and... oh my god.
Oh.
I should not be looking at this. I pick up my phone. Still no text. It's almost 11 p.m. Just when I'm about to slam the laptop shut, I notice one email at the bottom of the chain between Laura and her husband. No pictures here, just text. And she's talking about me. It begins.
David's perfect for the job. I'll give him the drive, and if he look...
My phone. A text from Laura. All it says is...
see you here in an hour.
with a pinned location. All the way up by Torrelodones. That's where Laura lives, a wealthy outskirt neighborhood of Madrid. Except, this location looks like it's on a mountain beyond the suburb. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'll have to take the night bus there, and it'll be at least a 30-minute ride. I grab my phone and my keys and shove them in my pocket. The drive, too. When my hand is on the knob to my front door, I stop. I go back to my computer and copy the USB stick to my hard drive. Then, I leave to catch that night bus. The bus left me under some cypress trees, in the dark. I had to use my phone to walk up an unlit dirt road, dodging overgrown grass and brambles and potholes. Why the heck did Laura pick this place to meet? I've been walking for over half an hour. I'm late. But if my GPS is telling the truth, right around the corner is where I should...
Oh, wow.
Every horror movie ever made is based on this mansion. Stone walls pierced by sagging gables. They jut out at weird angles. Boarded up arched windows. Weeds everywhere. It's windy. I can smell thyme in the breeze. There's a rusty iron fence with spikes around the property. A chain padlock is looped around the gate, but when I approach, I see that it's unlocked. I push the gate open, then continue to use my phone to light my way. Broken Litrona beer bottles and empty cigarette packs litter the driveway. There are statues lining the way, but they're missing arms, half of their heads, and they're spray painted with graffiti. This place is obviously a Botellón favorite party spot for the local kids. There's a stack of rotten pallets next to rusted out scaffolding abandoned on the side of the building. A failed renovation attempt, I guess. And a porta potty with a hole in the door. It still stinks, even though it clearly hasn't been used in years. The dog brushes against me. It's got this bizarre crust on its jowls. Oh, gross. A layer of shiny, writhing ticks. Poor thing. I think it wants me to pet it, but I'm not going to. I turn the corner. There's a black Mercedes. Laura's already here. She's the one who must have left the gate open. I keep walking and come to an empty pool. Beer cans strewn across the bottom. In the corner, a statuette of the Virgin Mary. It looks old, like made by a medieval artist before they learned Renaissance proportions. The paint on her face has run in the rain, like a drunk girl's mascara after a party.
Psst! Laura?
She emerges from the shadows. Even in the dark, I can see her scowl. I check to make sure the USB is still in my pocket.
You're late, David. I'm sorry. I had to take the bus. Why are we meeting here anyway? Because I knew it would be secluded. I have the key to the gate. I've had it since I was a teenager. Do you have the drive? Yes.
Her scowl turns into a smile.
Oh, you are the best. Where is it?
She holds her hand out to me. I touch the drive through the fabric of my pants, but I don't hand it to her. She notices when I touch my pocket.
Laura, I don't like being involved in this.
She takes a step closer, then says,
David, you didn't look at the drive, did you?
I say nothing. I just stare back at her, the white light from my phone lighting our faces in the dark.
David, I told you not to for a reason. I didn't want to get you involved. This is some serious shit. What Jose Antonio is up to, it's very illegal.
She's close enough to touch me now. She pats at my pant pockets, trying to find the drive. I brush her hand away.
I know it's illegal. That's why I'm not giving it to you. David, what he's doing is wrong. You've seen how he treats me. This is my chance to take him down. Once the cops get their hands on this, he's doing time. And his position will be left wide open. I deserve this.
She tries to stick her finger back inside my pocket, when all of a sudden,
There you are, hija de la gran puta.
Jose Antonio shines his flashlight right on our faces. Laura screams.
What the fuck? How did you find us?
The moonlight shines on his face. He looks angry.
I put a tracker on your car, you idiot. I knew you were up to something.
Laura grabs my arm. She slowly backs up, pulling me with her.
How very fucking dare you, Laura? I deserve this. I put up with idiots like you my entire life. Had to work day and night to build this company, from the ground up. I should have fired you.
Laura is still holding my arm. We're standing next to the statue of the Virgin at the edge of the pool.
An idiot like me? You're not so smart either, Jose Antonio. You were dumb enough to leave written proof, and then stupid enough to not even use a password.
She leans into me.
Come on, David. Give it to me, and we'll make a run for it. Besides, you can't take both of us, Jose Antonio.
I whisper back.
No.
She grabs my hand and squeezes. Hard. Her nails dig into my skin.
Give it to me, idiot.
When her nails find one of my veins, it brings blood to the surface. And my rage gushes out with it. I yell.
You're not so smart either, Laura. You didn't even put a password on your chat with Maridito. Yeah, that's right. I saw it.
Laura's eyes open wide. Her jaw drops before she regains composure and speaks.
David, you weren't supposed to see that. I just didn't want the cops to see those pictures. I have my reasons. God damn it, I'm not talking about the pics with your boyfriend or husband or whatever. I'm talking about the last email in the chain. Did you forget? Let me refresh your memory for you. David's perfect for the job.
I'll give him the drive, and if he looks, then I'll just fire him. And when I go to the cops with this...
Jose Antonio's going to prison, and... Does that ring a bell, Laura?
Laura's chest heaves up and down under the moonlight.
What does that prove, David? It proves that you thought I was stupid. I wouldn't realize what you were doing. And if I did become a liability, you'd throw me out like trash. No! And it proves that you were sitting on this info and hiding it from the cops. You're going to jail too!
Laura and Jose Antonio share a look. I realize that they both know they now have a common enemy. Me. Laura tries to push me, but I'm stronger. I push her back. I grab the statue of the Virgin Mary and hit her with it on the arm.
Ow! Fuck!
As Jose Antonio rushes toward me, and with my fingers clutching the statue, it glints in the moonlight. And that's when the voices begin. Jose Antonio growls.
I'll fucking kill you, you piece of shit!
I scream back.
You better not! I have a copy!
You're an idiot!
Maybe you two are the idiots!
I bash them both with the statue. I hit Laura on the arm again, then bring the statue down onto Jose Antonio's head. He yells too, and begins to stumble toward the empty pool. I shove Laura in his direction. She falls into him. They both wobble, then grab hands, then totter on the edge of the empty pool. Another gust of wind, and they almost fall together. Then he does fall against the pool bottom with a loud crack. The voices have a story to tell. Torrelodones, Madrid, 1915. They say that money can't buy happiness. Whoever said that was an idiot. Jose Maria del Palacio y Abarzuza, 3rd Count of Las Almenas and 1st Marquis of Llano de San Javier, knew this, because his wealth brought him plenty of joy. The man next to him, Arthur Byne, was a most curious little man. Underneath his receding hairline, 2 sharp black little eyes. Beneath the eyes, a mustache with upturned wings, and beneath that, a strip of goatee beard down the middle of his chin. He spoke.
This mansion'll cost you a fortune to build.
Despite the cold mountain wind that swept through the place, the Count's fingers and toes tingled with warmth as he turned to the man. A smile so big, it almost split his face in two.
Indeed, it will. What'll you call it?
The Count looked at the stone cliff where they were standing. It looked like the beak of a bird.
I'll call it Beak Cliff House.
Then the 2 men fell silent. Each lost in their own thoughts, they observed the construction worker, a man named Kike. Arthur Bynes was an American. His mind was on his latest job here in Spain, commissioned by his boss, a man by the name of William Randolph Hearst. Arthur liked his job. He liked the excitement, and he liked the money. A gust of wind almost knocked the Count's felt top hat off. Clutching it, he looked at Kike. The laborer wore soiled canvas pants. His bare chest was streaked in sweat and dirt. The Count liked money too. But more than accumulating it, he rejected the idea of losing it. Just the thought shot nervous acid straight from his stomach up his esophagus into the back of his mouth. It made him want to retch. Wealth came to those who deserved it, and the Count did deserve it. Why else would God have made him be born a noble? Preserving his wealth was part of God's plan, and Arthur Byne's mission was an important cog in this plan. Although it was a bit unorthodox, perhaps. By man's law, even illegal. Kike the construction worker was still hammering away. The Count called him over.
Kike, your pay.
Kike sauntered over to the 2 men as the Count pulled a bag bursting with coins from his pocket. The construction worker breathed heavily, and his breath reeked of sour tobacco and untreated cavities. Using one hand to cover his nose with his handkerchief, the Count used the other hand to drop 1 tiny coin from the top of the bag into the man's palm. Kike smiled, a big, goofy smile.
Thank you, Mr. Count.
He truly looked happy. It occurred to the Count that maybe all that nonsense about money not buying happiness was actually intended for simple men like Kike.
Kike, have you heard that money can't buy happiness?
Kike smiled even broader.
A truer word was never spoken, Mr. Count. This here's enough for me. It's just an honor to work on your home.
Of course. Keep men like Kike content. The Count wrapped his wool coat tighter around his chest, just as Arthur Byne clapped him on the shoulder.
Come on. We got a job to do.
Maybe whoever said money can't buy happiness wasn't an idiot. Maybe he was actually a genius. When the Count and Arthur turned their backs to leave, Kike's smile vanished. He glared at the men as they walked away. When the Count and Arthur arrived at the Carthusian monastery of Miraflores in Burgos, the priest was waiting for them at the door, rubbing his hands together, shifting from one foot to the other under his hassock.
Welcome, welcome, gentlemen. Please, follow me.
He led them straight to the back of the sanctuary, to the white alabaster double coffin shaped like a star.
This here is the sepulchre.
The final resting place of Juan II of Castile and Isabel of Portugal from the 15th century. One of Spain's most emblematic graves. A little statuette of St. James the Greater adorned it. The saint who originally paved the way along the Camino de Santiago. The Count glanced at the statuette, then at Arthur. Arthur gave him a slight nod. Bingo. The Count addressed the priest.
Father, this figure is in bad need of repair. We'll take it, and anything else that needs restoration.
He noticed another wooden figurine of the Virgin Mary. It looked almost medieval, with two-dimensional factions and paint running down her face.
Like this figure here.
The priest nodded his head up and down, more times than was necessary.
On behalf of the church, I would like to thank you and Mr. Byne for your generosity, restoring these priceless artifacts at your own expense, no less.
But of course, Father, I am Count and Marquis. I belong to Spain. I owe this to Spain.
The priest replied.
Might I be of assistance somehow? Perhaps keep a catalog for record-keeping purposes?
Oh, that won't be necessary. Mr. Bynes and I are quite capable of keeping a record ourselves.
Are you sure? I really don't mind if I need
Father, we're sure. Thank you.
The priest opened his mouth, about to insist, but then closed his jaw. Why argue with a man so intent on giving back to Spain? What the priest didn't understand was this. Yes, the Count belonged to Spain. He owed Spain. But Spain also belonged to him. Spain also owed him. The Count and Arthur hefted the statuette of St. James the Greater, along with the Virgin Mary, into their carriage, along with dozens of other lesser artifacts that they decided needed some sanding or repainting. The plan was so simple because it was so brazen. See, there was a reason that the two men had insisted on keeping their own records. The items of lesser value would be returned to the church, but some other pieces might be missing. Pieces like the statuette and the Virgin Mary. And with a sloppy written record, the most prized pieces would be lost in the mix. The priest, none the wiser. It worked brilliantly. In 1920, Kike the laborer began formal construction on the Count's mansion, while the Count and Arthur continued to loot historical sites all over Spain. Now, not just small artifacts, but entire buildings.
We'll just need to dismantle this building for a restoration. Thanks.
Arthur Byne sent the disassembled stones of entire convents, castles, and monasteries to New York in unmarked boxes with made-up origin stories. There, his boss, William Randolph Hearst, and other gauche nouveau riche across the North American continent received them.
I'll reconstruct this castle in Florida. I'll build it in California, under the Golden Gate Bridge.
For his part, the Count threw himself into decorating Beak Cliff House. The stone mansion, with its guardian's house, stables, fountains, ponds, and stairways up to lookout points, were dotted by Gothic pillars, images, stained glass, ashlar building stones, and even an entire Gothic cloister stolen from castles and monasteries all around Spain. The years passed and the Count enjoyed his wealth, entertaining illustrious politicians and intellectuals, out in the garden by his newfangled pool, next to the statuette of St. James the Greater and the wood figure of the Virgin Mary.
What exquisite artwork, Count. I can count 37 different towns around Madrid from here.
The scent of juniper, pine, and thyme wafting through the air.
It smells heavenly.
Yes, the Count was happy being rich. It did put a damper on his mood when someone rang at the door. The Count was surprised to see Kike, the construction worker, there. He now wore an ironed white shirt, although his breath still smelled bad. Bile surged from the Count's stomach up to his tonsils. Swallowing the acid back down, he spoke.
Kike, what a surprise to see you here. Mr. Count, I go by Enrique now. Enrique, then. My apologies. What can I do for you? You need to pay me more, sir. The union says so.
Oh, the Union. Spain had swung from dictatorship to republic and then back again. But the end result was that the unchristian, communist, Marxist, uneducated swine had joined unions.
Remember that money can't buy happiness, Kike. Or Enrique, rather. It's the law, sir.
The Count reluctantly gave him several coins from his purse, and was horrified to see how depleted his funds were. This was not befitting a man of his stature. It wasn't how things were intended. He needed liquid cash, and he needed it fast. He glanced at the statuette of St. James and the wooden figure of the Virgin Mary by the pool. This was God's way out. Not the Virgin Mary. She wouldn't fetch much of a price. But St. James, he might do. He banged out a telegraph to his friend Arthur Byne.
Dearest Arthur, please arrange a sale for my art collection with your employer, Mr. William Randolph Hearst, at your soonest convenience.
And Arthur did. They asked him questions at customs.
Why are you removing this art from Spain?
It's on loan. I'm organizing an exhibition in New York.
Which was a bald-faced lie, since he promptly put it up for auction on the other side of the Atlantic.
$1,000, $1,100, do I hear $1,200, $1,300. This figure of St. James the Greater, it adorned the tomb of a king and queen of Spain. Sold!
American dollars flowed back across the ocean into the Count's pockets. Phew. Disaster averted. The Count's fingers and toes tingled whenever he looked out at his beautiful home. They even burned with warmth when the Academy of History gave his mansion a special honor.
We declare this home a historic artistic monument.
Of course, none of these historians bothered to ask where all the artifacts actually came from. A man like the Count would certainly have good reason to have them. The Count continued to throw fancy parties out in the garden, the smell of thyme floating through the air next to the newfangled pool. The little statue of St. James was no longer there, but the Virgin Mary still was, with paint running down her two-dimensional features. There was someone at the door. The Count opened to find Enrique standing there, with a bayonet.
Enrique? How may I help you?
That's Mr. Enrique to you.
I beg your pardon?
Get out of my way.
What is the meaning of this? Do you want more money? Is that it?
No, I want this house. I built it, so it's mine now.
And he pushed the Count out of the way.
Kike, money can't buy happiness.
The construction worker punched the Count in the stomach.
That's the stupidest lie ever told, and we all know it.
The Count fled to London, He retched the churning bile in his stomach as he listened to the news.
Civil war shakes Spain. General Franco's nationalist troops bombed the Republican stronghold of the capital city of Madrid.
The acid seeped through his guts, climbing up his chest, burning him as it went. The good Christian Generalissimo Franco had tried to take back Spain for God from the unchristian, Marxist, communist Reds. But they had gone crazy in retaliation, thrashing churches, kicking noblemen like him out of their homes, stabbing priests. God had forsaken Spain, and the devil was in the government. Even worse, when he learned the Republican Army leader, José Miaja, had taken over his mansion to direct the Battle of Brunete, one of the bloodiest and cruelest of the Civil War. His relief when the war ended in 1939
Generalissimo Franco, commander of the nationalist troops, reigns victorious.
was immediate and sweet. Franco kicked Quique out of his home.
Spain is united, great, and free. Get out, you Masonic scum!
God was back in Spain, and things had returned to their natural order. The Count spent 1 year back in the mansion before he died of kidney and heart failure. But he died happy, with the station he deserved. On his deathbed, he clutched the wooden figure of the Virgin Mary and pronounced the following words.
I hereby will my home to Generalissimo Francisco Franco, a sign of my gratitude for reconquering Spain.
Then, the figure dropped to the floor. During his dictatorship, Franco was only too thrilled to use the Beak Cliff House as one of his many secondary residences. He took the wooden figure of the Virgin Mary and put her back by the pool.
Oh, she looks nice there.
He wasn't too concerned about the source of the many artifacts and chunks of history inside either. Because it should be mentioned that, like the Count, Franco also had a habit of taking what he believed Spain owed him: artifacts, jewels, houses, and lives. Spain was so busy surviving an oppressive regime that no one noticed when a little white statuette of St. James the Greater mysteriously appeared in the Met Museum of New York in the Cloisters collection in 1969, where it remains to this day. After Franco's death and democracy came to Spain, Beak Cliff House eventually fell into disrepair. It was used as a popular partying spot for teenagers in the 1980s and 1990s. One teenager in particular, with a tight black ponytail, had found the key to the padlocked gate. She liked to sneak beers with her friends by the empty pool, next to the wooden figure of the Virgin Mary with paint running down her face.
Santa Farma Headquarter Office, Madrid, 2026.
So, if you can all just sign off on the minutes, we'll be done here.
The men in their three-piece suits with silver and white hair scribble their signatures. I'm at the head of the table, wearing my own three-piece suit. Jose Antonio is gone. He didn't die in the pool, of course. But after a good knock to the head, he just understood that retirement was in his best interest.
See you tomorrow, David. Have a good rest of your evening.
Laura is still here. She recommended that I take over Jose Antonio's position. The rest of the board didn't quite understand why she wanted her employee to take the job they all knew she was gunning for. But after Jose Antonio also gave his blessing, they figured there must be a good reason. She and I get along just fine now. I walk out into the parking lot and enter my black Mercedes. I drive back to my neighborhood and park on the curb, right next to the door to my apartment. Paco is by the entrance to the bar, shaking his coins in his cup.
Must be nice to have a job.
This time, I ignore him. His eyes open in shock.
Hey, must be nice to have a job. Hey, asshole!
His pupils dart around, unaccustomed to this new routine. As I walk past him, I whisper.
Yeah, it is nice to have a job. You should try it sometime.
He says nothing, but looks straight ahead, shaking his cup even harder. I approach the bar and sit down. The waiter asks,
Lo de siempre?
I respond.
No, actually. I'll have a glass of Ribera wine this evening.
As I slide the coins across the bar, I think, I deserve this. Hola, Samuel here. You can see the Beak Cliff House, or Palacio del Canto del Pico, from the A6 freeway when you pass through Torrelodones to the north of Madrid. This creepy, abandoned building, high up on the cliff, always caught my eye, and I wondered what its story was. Now I know, and so do you. Arthur Byne smuggled the alabaster statuette of St. James the Greater, created by Gil de Soloé in the 1400s, out of Spain and illegally put it up for auction. In 1937, an art historian named Harold Wheatley discovered it in the possession of an anonymous wealthy American woman. She promised to return it, but then she just disappeared. Strangely enough, the artifact showed up in the New York Met Museum in 1969. It's still there today. Arthur stole entire convents and castles for people like William Randolph Hearst, some of which have disappeared. Others have been put back together in New York and Florida. One of them made it to California and was abandoned halfway through reconstruction. Its stones are still scattered under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Before his ruse was uncovered, Arthur was hailed as a Hispanophile and even received awards from the Spanish government. He died in a car accident in Ciudad Real and is now buried in the English cemetery in Carabanchel in Madrid. I'm giving you lots of links in the show notes today. First, the New York Met page with the official catalog entry of the stolen statuette. While I haven't spoken to them, I do find it odd that they mention nothing of its illegal origin. Next, the official webpage of the Carthusian Monastery in Miraflores, where they mention how the statuette was looted and sent to New York. I'm also dropping the location of the Beak Cliff House in case you want to check it out for yourself. Next is a picture of Arthur Byne. You'll see what a weird little man he was, with his upturned mustache and goatee beard, like a strip of hair down the middle of his chin. I tried to find more pictures of the Count, but only found one of him as a young boy. Why is it so hard to find pictures of such a famous man who died in 1940 when photography was widespread? Maybe it has something to do with his questionable legacy. Finally, there's a novel about the looting of Spain called Los Prodigios de Gillingham by José Francisco Rodil Lombardia. If you can read Spanish, Beak Cliff House, stolen loot, bribes to Francoist collaborators, and Nazi colluders on the run all appear in this story. Remember to join our Instagram and Facebook communities to see images of Beak Cliff House and its characters, and to stay up to date on Spanish Sundown news. Just search for @Spanish Sundown. I'm Samuel Mattern, and I created and produced this podcast. Special thanks to Simon Jones for the original theme music. Until night falls and the voices speak again, thank you for listening to Spanish Sundown. Oh, hang on, don't go just yet. As a special treat, I wanted to tell you about friend podcast, Counterbalance. I like it, and I think you will too. This is a high fantasy audio drama that follows 3 people in their journey across the mountain Skunder to fix a tear in the weave that creates magic. With angered spirits escaping the weave and wreaking chaos across the mountain, they must learn to work together to mend the tangle weave, or risk further widening the hole with their own internal conflicts. I've listened to several episodes, and I especially love the sound design. There's intricate world building, and the high-quality production sucks you in. The music is also just fantastic, featuring neo-folk, neo-pagan band Fuimadon. That and the emotions in the performance. I know Spanish Sundown's listeners are international, so I think you'll appreciate the diverse cast, with actors from Germany, Iceland, Denmark, Philippines, Serbia, and more. Find where to listen at trilanis.com or just search for Counterbalance wherever you get your podcasts. Here's a teaser.
You brought another Veron into my shrine?
Be nice, Othin.
You insolent little...
I'm sorry. Othin has strong opinions about mortals.
Does that mean you are the mortal?
Aren't we all a little mortal?
Some more than others.
My voice has been described as booming and thunderous.
Stop singing, Glenn!
Was my singing so bad?
I took you out before. I can do it again!
It's safe. The forest. Teldraka of dangers.
Of magic, of of things best left alone.
Scandary sealed such a vile practice away for good reason.
So now what? Run a rune.
This is not my business, little mortal.
This is absurd. I will have to inform the magistrate about this.
But Akasa, I'm sure Raka knows what she's doing.
Well, magistrates don't need to know all the details, do they?
Try to stay awake. This is important.
Counterbalance, a high fantasy audio drama. Season 3, starting early 2026. Learn more on trilunas.com.